India finish on the right side of a high scorer in the high felt. Tilak Varma is the star as India win by 11 runs to go 2-1 up with one game left to play in their T20I series in South Africa. Here are the takeaways from Centurion. Wasn't that special from Tilak Varma? Just turned 22 last week, now has a maiden T20I 100, and if you look through the phases and how he's constructed it, it's a knock that reflects so much maturity. Walked in third ball, hit a 4 and a 6 to start off, but then was content playing second fiddle to Abhishek Sharma as he took down the power play. At the end of 6, Tilak was 26 of 19, but then once Abhishek Sharma got out, he took off. In the first 3 overs after the power play, Tilak added 19 of just 8 balls. But then came a strange passage. He barely got strike through the next 4 or 5 overs. In fact, there's a period of 4 overs where Tilak Varma faced only 5 balls. He also saw Suryakumar Yadav and Hardik Pandya lose their wickets. But that didn't stop him. The other thing that had happened in that phase was Tilak wasn't getting to face much of Keshav Maharaj. But when Maharaj started his last over, the 15th of India's innings, Tilak really took him down, hit boundaries of 3 balls from the 4 he faced of Maharaj, and that really launched him into that flourishing finish. 52 of 20 balls all told in the last 6 overs, so just a beautifully constructed innings from Tilak Varma. With the ball, the spinners held key again for India, this despite Varun Chakravarthy going for plenty. You saw the South Africans go after him, be it Markram at the start and then damagingly Klaasen at the end. But despite that, and despite Varun leaking 54 of his 4, Axar and Ravi Bishnoi together have conceded only 62 from their 8 overs, which is commendable in such a high-scoring affair. Axar going to show why India made a mistake by not bowling him more in that second game. Tidy and effective as ever. With Bishnoi, the use of speed was quite impressive. Wicketless, but none for 33. And really cranked up the pace, was almost like a slow medium pacer at times, and it continues what has been a very economical series for Bishnoi. He's among the most economical bowlers so far going into the last game. That South Africa came within 11 runs of India's total was down eventually single-handedly to Marco Jansen, who sparked a dead finish into life with some sumptuous shot making. There were a few fortuitous boundaries behind the wicket, but 54 of 17 really scared the Indians in those last 2 or 3 overs, and that to back up a spell of 1 for 28 from his 4 earlier in the evening, which is commendable in such a high-scoring game, and it really has been a feature. This is Jansen's first series after a conditioning break given to him by Cricket South Africa, and in all 3 games he has been tidy. He's not conceded 30 yet in any spell, is the most economical bowler of the series so far, and bodes well for South Africa that a player so important to their plans is making a successful comeback. And lastly, let's take a wider lens on India's openers, shall we? Because they're having themselves quite an all-or-nothing series. Samson with 100 followed by 2 ducks, Abhishek with 2 low scores followed by this 25-ball 50. But it's an interesting observation if you look at Indian openers and how much the picture has changed this year. We've been quite used to India's top-order batters in T20Is being accumulators rather than aggressors. Very high aggregates, but not so high strike rates. It reflects in India's numbers. It was most telling if you look back to those 2 failed T20 World Cup campaigns back in 2021 and 2022. Then India entered a white ball reset, and they reaped the rewards of that in the last 2 white ball World Cups, 2023 ODI and 2024 T20. But perhaps the biggest success or the biggest indicator of a cultural shift lies in it going beyond just one set of personnel. So it's not just that squad which bought into this concept, but every subsequent squad. This squad is so different from the one that won India the T20 World Cup, but you can see that there is a buy-in, an almost universal buy-in and an acceptance that it's not so much the volume of runs from the top of the order, but the velocity of it which matters in T20s, and that for India is a big victory, perhaps even bigger than winning the World Cup in 2024.